Welcome to So You Want to Start a Business podcast. Welcome. I am your host, Ingrid Thompson. This is a podcast about and for entrepreneurs and leaders who think big, who take action to create business success, financial independence, and who make a difference in the world. My aim is to provide helpful, lively, and thought-provoking podcast based on your feedback. It's all of this and more. I'm trying something new this month. For the past 5 years, this podcast has been a series of interviews with entrepreneurs and business owners who share their business story. The terrific interviews will continue every fortnight, and the in-between weeks, I'm going to share some of my thoughts on business topics that will help take you closer to your business success and ultimately to financial independence. Based on the feedback from previous episode about the affirmations, it sounds like these in-between episodes are a hit. So my mission is to help women in business achieve financial independence through building a viable and thriving business. If you have any questions, please send me an email, ingrid@healthynumbers.com.au. I answer all my own emails. What am I talking about today? Well, Jim Rohn said we are the average of the 5 people we spend time with. And I've been thinking about who are my 5 people, and especially during the last 5 months in this COVID world. So there's number 1 is my partner, who I spend a lot of time with all day, every day, and we both work from home and we eat together. So that's one person. I speak to my sister most days on the phone, and some of those conversations are longer and some of them are shorter. So that's 2 people. So, who else? This led me to consider this idea of, are we in fact our own algorithm? So my mind and my thinking is influenced by what I let in, by who I let in, by whose voices I listen to, and, very importantly, what I shut out. So I thought about the news, and we watch a short amount of news every day. I limit my time on social media. I absolutely have my favourite podcasts that I listen to on a regular basis. I read books, both fiction and non-fiction. Clients make up some of the time in my week, and my business takes up a huge chunk of my time. So does my business actually count as one of my 5? I recently signed up with a new coach, and I'm having regular time with them. There's some Facebook groups that I dip in and out of, and my focus is mostly on good news. We have 4 cats, and I certainly spend time with each of them every day. They absolutely count. We're having coffee at the same cafe pretty much every day, and we have a short hello, what's happening kind of conversation with the barista and the chef, and occasionally some of the other customers who we've come to know over the years. For me, it felt like there were very few people that I truly feel like I spend enough time with for them to have any serious impact. So this led me to that question: am I my own algorithm? For so many years, people have quoted Jim Rohn, and he was born in the 1930s. In fact, he was born in 1930 and he died in 2009. So we could guess that his experience would have been kind of pre-technology and certainly pre-internet. So that when he talked about those 5 people being the average of, he actually meant people that we spent physical time with. I couldn't find out exactly when he said it, but I'm thinking it was somewhere when he was alive. Actually, he was quite young when he died, wasn't he? So there's been research about healthy people hanging out with other healthy people and the impact that has. There's also been research on if you have friends who smoke, chances are you will smoke. And I absolutely know people who stopped smoking or stopped drinking, and then once they start spending time with someone who does that, they start doing it again. So we certainly are influenced by people we spend time with. Maybe you've seen similar things for yourself. I know that when I worked in a corporate office and there was cakes and biscuits and chocolates, it was much more difficult to resist the temptations of those things than it is now working from home, where I rarely have such things in the house. So if they're not in the house, we don't have them. The same is true of happiness. Hanging out with happy people, and you stand a better chance of being happy. So I thought about other people who've maybe not had a lot of people around them, people who've had a lot of isolation. And I immediately thought of Nelson Mandela, who was an amazing man. So he was in prison for 27 years, and he spent 18 years isolated from other prisoners in Section B. He was imprisoned in a damp concrete cell measuring 8 feet by 7 feet, with a straw mat on which to sleep. He certainly spent a lot of time with no one else around him. So where does this take us with this, we are the average of the 5 people? He has been credited with saying, "I found solitary confinement the most forbidding aspect of prison life. There was no end and no beginning. There is only one's own mind which can begin to play tricks." I love that last line, one's own mind which can begin to play tricks. And it brought me to think about, in this world of constant stimulation with so many voices and so many people around us, that our minds indeed can begin to play tricks. Who is telling the truth? Who is best to listen to? Who do we let in? Who do we keep out? I certainly don't have the answers. I do, however, truly believe that we are the gatekeeper of our mind and our beliefs and our thoughts. We are our own gatekeepers. We can choose who we let in and who we keep out. We know that meditation stills the mind, and in fact, just sitting a few times a day and doing some breathing exercises can be enough to just still. Concentrate on counting the breath can really just help to still the mind. And there's so much more we could say about this. But I think, as we bring this to a close, I just want to say thanks for listening. And let's ponder the question of us being our own algorithm. And I'd just love to leave you with, our minds are our own. And the more we come to know about how the mind works, the more convinced I am that we can be whoever we want to be, and we can do anything we want to do. My mission is to help women in business achieve financial independence through building a viable and profitable, thriving business. If you have any questions, send me an email. It's super clear that I'm all about helping entrepreneurs and business owners achieve that financial independence they're looking for. Everything I do in my business, every decision I make is based on that question. Will this contribute to helping you, my listener, move closer to achieving financial independence as a business owner? As always, there's no advertising on this podcast, apart from me and my book and our new Facebook group, which you may have heard about. If you are a Facebook group fan, then you could head to Healthy Numbers Profit Lab, and you will see a Facebook group there, and you are more than welcome to join. The episode is also brought to you by my book with the same name as the podcast, So You Want to Start a Business. Head to wherever you buy your books online for the Kindle or the physical book. And it truly is a business 101. So even if you've been in business for a little while, it could certainly give you some, resetting points there as you go. If you're loving these conversations, please head to wherever you listen to podcasts and give us a 5-star review and make a comment. Thoughts without action? Well, they're just that. They're thoughts and ideas. So what action are you going to take today from this podcast? Thanks so much for listening, and maybe we'll see you in Healthy Numbers Profit Lab Facebook group.